You're going to have 5 minutes to build a pattern that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This one's my pattern. You can do your own pattern however you want. You have 3 minutes to build a pattern that has
3 minutes.
Miss, can you please put the link in the chat because
yes, I will. 3 minutes to build a pattern that has at least four pattern numbers in it. So this is pattern number 1. This is pattern number 2. You need to have one that has at least 4. Okay.
this is mine.
Wow, this is very cool.
So
what happens to the number of triangles each time? Like, what's the in pattern number 1? There are 4 triangles.
Triangle.
Pattern number 2.
In
There's
pattern
3.
number 2, there are 6 triangles. So
This is by half.
let's look at our workbook today. So here is a pattern. It says that each one of these is the pattern. Each pattern has a pattern number, like 1, 2.
Like what we did in Brandon Camp.
So this is like we did in Brandon Camp. So the pattern number is 1. The number of squares is 1. The number of triangles in pattern number 1 is
It's
2.
easy.
So what's pattern number 2? Pattern number 2 has how many squares?
Number of squares, if there's 2
4.
squares.
2
There's
squares
just 2 squares and 3 triangles.
and 3 triangles. Okay, pattern
This
number
has
3.
3 squares and 4 triangles.
Squares and 4 triangles.
Oh, I'm noticing about how we work out the pattern number to get the number of squares. The pattern number is the same as the number of squares. Yeah. So pattern number.
So, Miss, now I get it. Like, in each pattern, even though 11, there's going to be 11 boxes and 12 triangles.
Yeah, is it always going to be one more triangle than the squares?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So let's have a look at our little. So you can fill in the table. That's easy. Let's have a look at our rule here on the side. That's the part we have to figure out how to write. So how do I write the number of squares? What's it the same as? The number of squares is the same as
Pattern.
the pattern. So if pattern is n, that means the pattern number. The number of squares, what are we going to say for squares? Well, the number of squares is just n, isn't it? It just is the same. It's n. Whatever the pattern number is, so is the squares. So we can just write n under the number of squares. Whatever we write for pattern, it's going to be the same for the squares. What happens from the pattern number to tell us how many triangles there are?
Plus 1. So n plus 1.
Good. We're going to put n, which is the number of the pattern number, plus 1 more will tell us how many triangles it is.
This is fun.
Do we get it?
Yeah.
So whatever number we put for n, we just put the same number here and it will tell us
Plus
the
1
number.
makes O.
So if it was pattern number 432, how many squares will that pattern have?
32.
32 because it has n.
And the triangles will be 33.
Triangles will be 33 because it's n plus 1. So we could figure this out for any number of patterns without having to draw them all, because we have the rule and we've used algebra to write it down.
This is fun. Okay, now for 11, we have 11 squares and 12 triangles.
Well, for this one, write down the consecutive whole number starting with A. So A.
Miss, now math is nicer than before.
Like in algebra.
I'm glad you're enjoying this topic.
Yeah, it's literally the same because you never know, like the letters can be like literally any number. So you never know. So you're just gonna put the
It's
same
so
number
easy.
every single time plus the
A
number
plus
that
1 equals B.
So wait a minute.
Miss,
If
can
A
math be
is
longer?
the first number in a consecutive list of whole numbers, the next one will be A plus 1. Yes, it will be one more higher than that. What will the next one be if you're using A?
A plus 2.
A plus 2. And then?
A plus 3.
And then A plus 3 because it's getting
A
one
plus
higher
3.
each time. And then?
A plus 4. It
plus
says
1.
write down the consecutive even numbers starting with B. So I have to put even numbers.
Yeah, it's just for the even numbers, which is every second number, isn't it? So after B plus 2, you would have another B plus another 2. So B plus what?
4.
4. I'm just going to put a number here, number 2, it comes out and it's still number 2 because there's nothing happening to it in the machine. It's empty. See how there's nothing on the machine? If I add a 1 and I put my numbers into my machine, poof, comes out as 4.
Whoa!
I put number 2 into my +1 machine, comes out as 3. I can change this to being +2 and +1, which means +3.
That's so cool.
This time it's going to be a +3 machine. There, it works. Okay. And you are filling it. See, it starts filling up here. It fills up on the side.
Miss, that is too cool.
But just have a little play. Have a play with the number machines. You can also do minus number machines. You can do minusing. And you can do timesing number machines. You can times numbers. And you can divide numbers. So have a wee play with the number machine. Before you put the number in the machine, think to yourself what the answer should be. Okay.
Every day, let's just do a warm-up. Let's every day do an algebra or any maths warm-up.
Like this is fun, isn't it? Like if I put the 4 into this machine, it's going to times it by 2. What's 4 times 2? 8. And then add to 10. So I should get the number 10.
I did +1 divided by.
So to write what this machine would look like in algebra, my machine.
This is. Thanks for this fun warm-up.
I'm going to use n as the number that's going in. So 2n means 2 times n, take away 3. That's the rule I'm making here. 2n, n being the number that I put in, take away 3.
I'm gonna try pattern.
So now I want you to write for me the rule in algebra that you have just created in your machine. Is everyone looking at my screen? Okay, so I can get someone to read for the rule for me that's on my screen right now. Could I please have Fatma read me the rule that's on my screen right now?
2 times n.
Yes, 2n means 2 times n. I've just written it above to remind you that when the number and the letter are next to each other, it means times. So, and you put the number before the letter. So 2 times n, take away 3. Can everyone see that n is the number that's going in? Yeah, these are n's over here. That's n, the number that I'm putting in. It gets times by 2 first, and then it has 3.
Wait, Miss, I thought you said that one letter can't be 2 numbers.
What do you mean? No, that number is just one number. That letter just means the number that I'm putting in, like 4, whatever number I put in.
But then it changes.
And then it's going to get multiplied by 2, and then it's going to have 3 taken away, and then the number comes out the other side. Okay, so the rule for that machine is 2n take away 3. 2 times n take away 3. All right, so everybody in the chat, can you please type for me the rule for the number machine that you're using at the moment? So make n the number that's going into the machine. What's your rule? Hala, correct, 2n plus 3. Yasmin's doing 5n, okay? Can everyone please write the algebra for me of what I've written onto that machine? If n is...
I don't get it.
Wow, how many... n is the number that I'm putting into the machine. What happens to n in my machine on the screen? Type it in the chat as algebra. What happens to it? Thank you to everyone who's getting it right. Well done. Lots of you are getting this. First of all, n gets times by 2. In algebra, I write the number I'm timesing the letter by first and then the letter. That means 2 times n.
Give us another one.
Okay, I'll give you another one. All right. Let me try. What if I... okay, if I minus by 3 first, and then whatever answer I got, I added... I want to add 2 to it. Okay, could you write that rule up, please? Now, this is minusing and adding. There's no timesing, so you won't put letters next to numbers. That's only for timesing. If you're still on the number machine, you need to close that tab now. So everyone closing that tab? Can you put in the chat closed? Type the word closed when you've put it in the chat. Type closed. I have closed the number machine. I know it's horribly tempting and kind of fun to play with, but I want everyone to close it now, please, and focus on the lesson. So you need to see more than one set of answers sometimes to figure out a rule, because sometimes they could be more than one rule that works for one set of answers, but when you look at the other ones, you realize which one it has to be. Yeah. So we need to look at more than one result sometimes.
Don't
But
think it was 0.
we're going to set it to 20 and then we're going to choose computer decides. Okay. So computer decides. X is 16. The answer was 8 when it came out. So what's happened to the 16 to make 8?
Oh, it's divided by 2.
No.
The
X divided by 2.
by 2 equals 8.
So we're going to have a guess, just like we did with Fatma before. We've only got one set of answers. At the moment, our guess is that it's X divided by 2, X halved. Okay, let's try doing another one and see.
Wait, Miss, how do you write your answer?
I clicked computer decides the input. I'm going to click that again. Another number comes in. Oh, does that rule still work? Is it definitely X divided by 2? No, that rule doesn't work.
Okay. So is it minus?
It could, is it? I don't know. Would that work?
What do you mean you don't?
If you, can you, is it going to minus the same thing to get from there to there as from there to there? It has to work for all of the numbers that go in and out. So, come on, everybody. What's the difference between 8 and 16? What's the difference? 12 minus what equals 4?
Miss, I removed 8.
How much? 8? Okay.
Yes.
X minus 8. Does that work for this line? Yes. Does it work for this line? Yes. Okay, let's try another number and see if it keeps working. Use the number pad to enter the function so we can have a guess now. So what do we think the function is, the rule?
The answer is 12.
Minus 8. I think it's minus 8. Okay. Go. Yay, we did it. Okay. And if we got it wrong, we could keep trying to put some more in. Yeah. Everyone's getting the hang of this? How to work it? All right. People that are doing it with me, let's try. Oh, who's going to have a guess?
2. Plus 2 times 2.
So let's see if it works for the next numbers, right? Did it work?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how would I write times 2? I'd write 2x if I'm writing it for algebra, but I'm going to put times 2. Okay. I'm excellent. We are excellent. Right, we try another one. 15 to 21. Can you times 15 by anything and get the answer 21? No.
No.
It's not timesing.
Adding.
Adding. So what do you think it is? Adding how much?
7. I mean 6.
6. Okay, let's try the next ones and see if it works.
Plus you could add.
Did that work?
Yeah. It's also plus
Is that true? Is that also
Yeah, it worked.
okay?
Yes, it worked.
We got it. Plus 6. We've only got 1 minute left, but let's try and get the first one done on the worksheet. Write an algebraic expression to describe the rule. Okay, so the input is 5. It comes out as 10. So this
Minus 5.
so it starts as 5 and it goes to 10. Input means
Plus 5.
plus
Or
5.
times 2.
It adds 5.
Okay, it could be, you're right. It could be plus 5 or it could be times 2. So then we have to look at the next one in the pattern to find out which one.
No, miss. Because
So-
I looked at the second one.
You
it
looked
doesn't
at
work.
the second one. So it goes from 9, it goes to 14. So which one is it? Times 2 or plus 5?
Plus 5.
Plus 5. Can't be the other one anymore. Right. So W, what are we going to write under here? How do I write this? If we start from W, what's this one going to be? W
W5
plus
plus 5.
It's going to be whatever W is, 5 more than that.